What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Monday evening. I am so looking forward to the reunion, and hopefully, supposedly, Phaedra is coming back episode 12. So, this is episode 7, Nashville Hold'em, and the episode opens up with Brit and her husband Mike. Now, listen, Mike has been trending all day, all up and down social media. He's featured on a segment on Tasha K. And supposedly, it's a gentleman that's come out and said that Mike, he's on the DL, that he and him have a very, very close relationship. And Tasha K said that, she doesn't, of course, know that to be true, but she just always felt like something was off with her husband. And you can just tell, right? Like, if I didn't know that they were married and I just, observed their relationship dynamic, it's almost like he's just not into her, like when she was crying her eyes out and he bent down and gave her that side church hug in the last episode, or even when we were introduced to them, he just seems really like cold and dismissive. So I don't want to speculate about anybody's sexuality, but I will say this. I feel like, she may love him a lot more than he loves her, or he just might not be affectionate towards her. Whatever it is, he just gives me somebody who's cold and really off putting. But they're at a car dealership, and, she's like, you told me you were going to buy me a new car every 2 years. And so they're testing out this beautiful Ferrari. And, she puts her leg up. She's joking. And he's like, put your leg down. You're doing too much. Like, he seems like he is so over his wife. Like, I don't know. It just gives me irritated all the time. All right. Moving on. We have Kelly, and Kelly invited Cynthia over. She has her sister over there as well. So they're all, enjoying some cocktails and, some tasty food. And they're talking about Cynthia's love life. She said that, older men, because she's already been married twice to Peter Thomas and Mike Hill, and she's divorced from both of them now. And so she says that, the younger men is who are really feeling her. She's like, older men aren't really feeling her. And I mean, for whatever reason, I just did a couple videos about Shannon Sharp. I feel like once men hit a certain age, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis or what, but or maybe they want to see if they still got it, whatever whatever it is. They don't seem to really go after older women, but the younger ones do. So I'm here for it because Cynthia has a tall chocolate drink of water from Amsterdam. He's a musician. I don't remember his name, but I do know that TMZ caught them together, and he's cute. He's real tall. So good for Cynthia. I'm here for it. She said in her confessionals that she wants somebody who is, good oral hygiene, and they have to have like, manny and petty, just keep themselves up, because she used to be a model. You know what I mean? Like, Cynthia is all about the aesthetics, and she had a baby with Leon, the actor who was gorgeous in Waiting to Exhale, The Temptations, and Five Heartbeats. And I mean, he is the personification of suave, right? So I was surprised. I mean, not that Peter was they were okay, but they weren't as suave and sophisticated and, as sexy as Leon was. So anyway, so they're talking about Kenya and Brit. And to be honest, I hope that they're able to, kind of move the conversation forward a little bit. Not that it's still not a big deal, because Kenya's not even present in this episode. She was suspended after what she did, but she's made her own confessionals, YouTube. I covered that as well. But I'm kind of tired of hearing Brit whine about it because and maybe this is why her husband be giving her the stinker all the time. She's annoying. Like, she takes zero accountability for threatening this girl on national television with a pow pow. Like, I get it. Kenya was 100% dead wrong. Like I said in my other videos, I really wish that she would have went through the proper procedures if she was ignored by Andy or whoever she went to either go up that chain of command or take the legal system in her own hands. But she didn't. So now she's gone. And since she's gone, I need Brit to move forward. I really, really do. Um, and she keeps like lying about her, license, saying that she lost her license when in fact, now that we know that was a lie, that she was investigated. Now we know that was a lie. Like a lot of people have already proven that to be not true. So it's like, girl, you lost credibility and you're threatening people. Please stop acting like a victim because, baby girl, you were nobody's victim. Like you brought it on yourself, you know? Like Kenya, I don't know. It just she gives me like don't start none, won't be none. That's the motto I feel like of a lot of people in Detroit. Like you started, I'm gonna finish it. But anyway, so they are talking about Angela and how her husband supposedly had a baby on her. And I think that we could surmise that from Angela, the way she even introduced the children in their household as like, this one's mine, this one's his. And I remember Wendy Williams, spoke out about that as well, where Wendy talked about how Kevin stepped out with Shireen and had a baby on her. She said that Angela Oakley pulled her to the side on her show. She said this, it was a segment on her show. And Angela whispered in her ear, well, Wendy is just a baby. And Wendy was like, has it happened to you? And she's like, yes. She's like, did you stay with him? And she said that Angela pointed to her husband in the crowd. He's like, yes, I did. And Wendy's like, well, you a better one than me. And I know that's right, because I don't think you can come back from that either. Just that level of, disrespect and disregard. Like that is just, you don't respect yourself. You don't respect your vows. You don't respect, your, what did Shannon Sharp's, what that chick said, that your baby gravy. I'll be using that. I'll be using that for a while. That was a mess. It's just sloppy, just a complete disregard for not only the marriage but yourself. So yeah, I couldn't be with somebody who I would just the level of just disrespect on so many different levels. I would have lost all respect for my husband as well. So Wendy was smart in doing that. But Angela decided to stay, and I guess Brett was trying to be funny, but now her husband his name is all through the social media streets. So listen, what goes around comes around. So Drew is talking about her upcoming court date with Ralph. Child, the men on this show. Like, I feel like every season, the men have just progressively gotten worse and worse. Like, is it just me? I just, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But, man, like, Gerald, hold them down. Don't let us down. Because the rest of these, I'm just looking at them with the side eye. But yeah, so Drew, she's talking about her upcoming court date. And she just says that, she wants to keep everything sealed. And they're like, are you trying to protect Ralph? And she's like, I'm sure she's just probably trying to protect not only Ralph, but also herself and her, her children. Drew is messy as well. She's known to fabricate a story or two or 5 or 10 herself. So she wants to keep everything sealed. And listen, it's difficult when you're a public figure because a lot of things that happen in the court, it's legally is public record. So you're in the public eye. People are going to do some investigating and find out. But she's trying her best. So I can't knock her for it. So the next scene, Porsha and Shamia join Cynthia and Kelly, over at Kelly's house. And they're talking about her upcoming birthday trip. And she's talking about how she doesn't like Drew. I feel like Porsha would be a lot less insecure if her and Dennis just got back together. Like, I don't know what the problem is. Both of them are single. Um, or at least, I know Portia's going through her divorce with Simon. And to be honest, I don't think he can step foot back over here after he's been put out the country I don't know how many times. And now he's in either still in ICE or on his way back to Nigeria. So I don't know if you can do like an uncontested divorce in Georgia, but I'm pretty sure you probably can't under these circumstances, especially since, he's been deported for being such a fraudster since like the 80s. Like he's an old school scammer. But so anyway, Simon's out of the picture, literally and figuratively, okay? He is scamming people back at home in Nigeria. And so Portia's birthday trip is coming up, and Angela, her messy self, she's telling Drew, and she said, "I would like for you to accept my invitation." Angela, I need you to have several seats, girl. Now, typically, Porsha works my last nerve because she's really self-centered and short-sighted, but I have to side with her on this because even though I don't feel like Drew is warranted all the hate that she gets, because Portia's just jealous, right? That her and Drew and Dennis have that working relationship. But you can't invite somebody to somebody else's birthday party. Like, girl, are you crazy? Like, if you had beef with whoever, XYZ, any of the girls or anybody outside of even the housewives, you would not want that person on your birthday trip that you planned. You want to kick back, you want to relax, and I get it. Listen, Porsha, she's going through a lot. She's going through this divorce with Simon. She's jealous of Drew and Dennis's relationship, and she just wants to go to Nashville, have some fun, ride some mechanical bulls, have some drinks with her girlfriends. Like, at least give her that, right? At least give give her that weekend. I think that Angela was out of line. She might not like Porsha. Like, that might have been her being shady. I don't know, but I feel like her offering Drew a birthday invitation to somebody else's birthday, Angela gives me, habitual line stepper. That's what she's given. And I was rocking with Drew when she said, "I love you, but I'm not going to crash Portia's birthday party." But that's exactly what she ended up doing. We'll get to that when she gets there. But like, let me tell you something about me. I am not going to go anywhere that I'm invited to. And unfortunately, I can't even attend some of the things that I am invited to. And I feel bad. I was supposed to be in my cousin's wedding and I wasn't able to go. And, it made me really sad, but it's like, listen, you know what I mean? Sometimes life gets in the way. But I would never crash somebody's birthday party, especially at our big age. This is not high school or college, and you trying to be funny or petty. Like, and you're being filmed for a reality show. So people all over the world are watching you crash Portia's birthday party when you know that she doesn't want you there. And Angela knows that she doesn't want Drew there. I don't know. Like, I'm like, what? I don't know if Porsha did something to get under Angela's skin, but Drew was wrong for accepting that invitation, and Angela was wrong for offering it. Now, Angela, if you want Drew to go to a party, throw one for your own birthday, and then extend, the invitation for your birthday party. But what you don't do is take it upon yourself to invite someone's, I wouldn't even say like enemy, but just someone that, they're not getting along with at that time to someone else's birthday party. That's tacky and tired, and that's not cool. So, and Drew, after everything that you're going through with Ralph, you don't need that added stress to increase your beef with Porsha. I feel like if Drew would have taken the mature route and stayed away, I think that Porsha may have seen that as a sign of, humility, or like an olive branch, or just a sign of respect. Because if I'm throwing a birthday party and there's somebody that my friends know that I'm not rocking with and they invite them, I'm gonna be upset at them. Like I'm not like she said, I'm not gonna be a mean girl and all that stuff, but it's gonna be an issue because that's disrespectful to me. So the next scene is Shamia singing her song with B Flat. He's a producer, and I'm excited for her, right? Like she is, she's doing her thing. She's singing her music, and I can't wait to hear it. I think that Shamia has a beautiful voice. I think that she's talented, and I think that this is her season. Like she is leading these housewives. So then we have Angela, who her two children were talking about how her her nose. She got a nose job. She said it was too pinched, so then she got Botox. And her kids, it be your own kids, because kids have no filter. They said she looked like Yoshi from the Super Mario Brothers game. I don't know why people mess with their face and mess with like their body. Like if you want to, honestly, and this is just me, my own personal opinion, right? But just in like weight fluctuation, like if you want to reshape your body, you can. And when you lose body fat and gain like lean muscle, your face changes too. You lose a double chin if you have one, the cheek fat, you can see your jawbones, they're more defined. And not that I'm like a fitness expert, but and I need to get back on my workout plan too. My Kanye's workout plan. No, I'm playing. Keep Kanye in prayer, y'all. That I can't even make a video about that because my heart broke when I read that. Anyway, you can reshape your body just going to the gym. It's gonna take time, dedication, and discipline, but your kids will not be calling you Yoshi in the face. You don't have to worry about any side effects from Botox. You get you gain more muscle. Just your brain matter is better with exercise. It strengthens your cardiovascular system. Just exercise, in my opinion, is the best way to reshape your body. But that's me. If you want to do cosmetic surgery, please, by all means, be careful, do your research, make sure they're board certified, and do you. All right, so moving on, we have, Drew and Brit, and they're talking. They go to the bar and they both get lemon drops, and they're just Drew. Drew she had to have a producer in her ear. She had to have a producer in her ear because she outright asked Brittany if she sold the cat. She's like, "Did you sell it?" She's like, "So what?" She's like, "The cat." They're talking about Brittany. Oh, in her webcam series, she said no, her and a friend were just without clothes on, doing webcam in their 20s. Like it's just like it's just normal. Like, okay. Listen, everybody has, different kinks, and I don't want to shame anybody. Do you? She was overage, I think at that time. But at the same time, you can't, if you're going to do that and you're going to have that agency and that autonomy and, saying that it was empowering, to women or to you and your friend, and you don't think it's a big deal, then I need you to stop just completely melting down about it. You're over here windmilling almost anybody who asks you a question about it. You definitely, of course, rightfully so, was upset at Kenya, but she tried to embarrass you with it. But if you're gonna own it, own it. One thing I appreciated about Nene Leakes is that anytime anybody tried to shame her about her past being a stripper, she's like, I did what I needed to do, and I slid down many a pole to put food on my table. Yes, baby, I was a stripper, now I'm not. Cash and Trump checks. Although I'm surprised they didn't bounce. But now she has her YouTube channel. Nene's a hustler. And she owned it. And nobody could use that against her. Like if Brittany was just to own it, I feel like a lot of people will have a lot more respect for her because her, saying how, it hurts me, it destroys my character. Nobody is understanding me. Nobody has my back. I feel like she feels neglected by her husband, who may or may not be on the DL, allegedly. And she's projecting that onto all the women. And that's not fair. Like, girl, just because your husband gives you side hugs, church hugs, standing up, doesn't mean everybody else has to hear you whine and complain about fake investigations from your insurance company or webcam series back in the day. Back in the day. But Drew, I can't lie, she clocked in. She did what she needed to do this segment. She was messy and I was here for it. Sipping on that lemon drop. I'm like, there had to be a producer in her ear to ask this girl straight to her face, did she sell the cat? Drew, girl, if you don't go somewhere. She said, I'm securing that peach for next season because I have bills to pay because my raggedy ex-husband will not move out the basement. You can't make this stuff up if you tried, because Ralph, why are you in the basement, sir? Like, he gives me Martell Holt 2.0, and the fact that they went on that golf trip together and they are so close, I'm like, they are two peas in an annoying pod. Man, they are annoying. Poor Drew. I actually feel bad for her. I can't even front because he is a headache and a half. Speaking of, so the next segment is Ralph and Drew. They go to court, and Ralph catches an Uber there. He has his lawyer, and so she's surprised because I'm not gonna lie, I would be surprised too if they live in the same house and they were married. They share children, they share an address, they share every utilities, water, everything. Why couldn't they share a car going to the courthouse? But anyway. So her sister Allison's there with her, and she's telling them, that they think that Ralph is looking for a fight. He is. Like she said, he's a narcissist. That's exactly what they do. And he wants, complete control. But she's going over the agenda with her lawyer. The agenda is number 1, get Ralph out of the house. Number 2, get Ralph's financial records. And number 3, keep the divorce filing sealed. Because Ralph doesn't want anybody to know how much money he makes. Which, by the way, have we found out what he does? Like, what does Ralph do? Like, we know that Drew, she sings and acts and she's an entertainer, she has this check, but I'm like, what does Ralph do exactly? I know he had that something he was doing online, selling aprons, and he was like shirtless. I don't know, are people buying aprons like that? Because okay, but he says that he continues to pay all the bills in the house. So, and he's a serial cheater. You have to have coins to be a serial cheater. So he must be doing something right. But he's tracking Drew, and the producers are asking, are there any scary details that we should know about? And is she fearful for Ralph? And she's like, yeah, I'm more fearful for Ralph than for me. I don't know. I like Drew, but I feel like we really can't believe anything that she says. And then Ralph is not forthcoming with his own financial records. So they go in the courthouse, and her lawyer says, here's a whole list of things your husband would not produce. His attorney's telling, Ralph that it's a money grab, it's a money game. And I mean, any court proceedings, typically, that's exactly what it is. They drain your wallet, your time, your energy. Oh, it's a mess. But anyway, so they go in. They said 20 minutes later, they come out, and Drew really didn't get anything that she wanted, And Ralph came out skipping, skipped my Lou. He is annoying. He is so annoying. Like, Drew, what were you thinking? I mean, granted, he's an attractive man, but once you get past the surface level, he is tap dancing on my last nerve. So, yeah, she's like, I don't know why Ralph couldn't, unseal the case. She doesn't want her kids to see everything that's on the internet, but he's upset. He's like, I don't have to leave. I don't have to leave the basement. And I'm thinking, if you're making that much money where you can pay the bills in that house, why wouldn't you want to move out and get a condo? I mean, close by, you still want to have access to your kids, but I feel like he really does. Like, he wants to drive Drew crazy. Like, he wants to get under her skin. He's absolutely a narcissist. He wants control, not only of the finances, but of her dating life, of the kids, of everything. That's what happens when you're dating or married to a malignant narcissist. She calls him an a-hole because he's out there acting like a kid, dancing and doing the two-step, again, to try to get under her skin. I wish she wouldn't take the bait because he's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, don't give him the satisfaction of letting you, be upset. Like, just pay him dust. That's what she should do. But anyway, I'll be glad when their divorce is done because she's in the car crying. And again, like I said, my heart goes out to her because it can't be easy dealing with a man like that. He has absolutely no regard for the mother of his children. He is going to fight her on everything, every step of the way. So the fact that she's calling him an a-hole and all this, like, that's just feeding that malignant narcissism. Like, what you should do is focus on making sure that you have an airtight case, do research in your free time, and whether it all comes out or not is public record. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on Ralph. Focus on yourself, your kids, getting your money, getting your bag, um, looking up legal precedents to make your lawyer's job easier because I'm sure you're not their only client. And next time you go into court, make sure that you have everything airtight. Don't even say two words to him and come out victorious and get him out of your house like ASAP. I cannot even imagine what it would be like to live with him, even if he is in the basement, just a troll in the basement. Just man, he is annoying. All right, so anyway, the ladies are all getting ready to leave for the airport, and everybody is getting together. Britt and Kelly are riding together, and they're all at the Atlanta airport. Shout out to the Atlanta airport because it's, I think, one of the biggest in the country, and they have that train running through it. And every single time, like, I fly Delta, my cousin used to work for Delta, but every single time I felt like, and this is back before the planes just started dropping out of the sky, child, but Delta, they're located, their headquarters are located in Atlanta. And so they would always make sure to, do a double check and safety checks on the Delta planes there. So I know a lot of people don't like Atlanta airport, but I don't mind it. The one time that we did get a delay, the lady put me in a nice hotel. She gave me all kind of vouchers, but she gave me like extra, like all this extra stuff. She was like, because you were so, patient and kind, you weren't sucking your teeth or getting attitude. So she hooked me up. Yeah. So shout out to Atlanta. All right. So Porsha and all the ladies are dancing in the dancing in the lobby, dancing in the elevator. They're getting into just the spirit of her birthday. They're like, did we miss anybody? Did we forget anybody? And then we have Angela. So Angela said that she was running a little bit late. The traffic was not accommodating and she missed her flight, which, I mean, okay. Oh my gosh. Kelly is so funny. She said that Angela probably forgot her fan and had to go back. She said she had a big fan to bring on the plane, but Nashville's not that far from Atlanta. I mean, she could have drove if it was really all that serious. But anyway, she got a different flight. So the ladies are, in the party bus, and they're talking about what all they're going to do. And Shamia says she wants to have her back fat gone, and she wants her skin to be normal. Again, I'm telling y'all, people sleep on working out, but I mean, I feel like it is so. I mean, it's not a cure all, right? Everybody's different, but the health benefits that come from, like, you sleep better, you can think better, your skin often clears up, you can get rid of the back fat she was talking about. I'm telling you, I'm here for a good workout. So they get to the house. It's a gorgeous Airbnb with a lake in the back. And they meet one of the bartenders. His name was Abel. He has a Howdy Henny on deck. I was like, okay, I know that's right. And they have Chef Dev. He has, the Nashville barbecue laid out. I'm like, okay, Porsha. Then Porsha shows the ladies their rooms, and Porsha's room is gorgeous, right? It has a lake in the background, the master suite. It's gorgeous. Um, and then Porsha opens the basement door talking about Drew. It was like, you tried it. She is so shady. Porsha is shady. So then Shamia, right? She sees the second biggest bedroom. She starts humping the bed and claiming and talking about she has a smidge of entitlement. These ladies are a mess. But anyway, so then the rest of the rooms, we don't see all of them. We do see the one that Angela has, which is pretty nice. They said it's a suite. But the other ones was like a bunk bed. I think Drew got that one. And then the other ladies got like to sleep in this. It looks like an attic. And Kelly said, if you would have told me I was going to have a room from Kevin, I Shrunk the Kids, and the producer was like, you mean Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? And she was like, yeah, what's Kevin? And she's like, you mean from Home Alone? She's like, don't tell me I'm over here mixing up my movies. It's okay, baby girl. But that, that attic looked like the kids' room or the dang on, I don't know, where the bartender and the chef would sleep. But anyway, that the barbecue looked, amazing. So they all sit down to eat, and they are talking about, just traveling together. And Portia's talking about Simon. And like I said, unless she goes to Nigeria, I don't think that she's ever going to see Simon again. And it's unfortunate, because you never want to see a marriage dissolve. Cynthia says that she never would have thought that, they would have broken up. She was like, hashtag be his peace. And she's hashtag Portia's like, right, be his peace. Absolutely. So Angela's on her way there, and she gets there, and, she says that how you could walk to a room and tell people are speaking about you or talking about you. She was like, y'all bees is talking about me. So she told him that the reason why she missed her original flight was that her bag busted and it was a long morning, but she made everything okay. So that's good. I mean, as long as she made it. And like I said, she wasn't too far behind them because the flight was only an hour. Like Atlanta and Nashville is that close. So she tells Porsha that she would like Drew to come. And Portia's like, what? Like, how are you just going to invite Drew to my trip? And so Shamia's like, listen, Angela, we're having a nice time eating this great barbecue. Don't come over here poking the bear. But that's exactly what Angela did, because Angela is messy. And I really do feel like the producers are in the newbies' ears. Like, they are pushing them to stir the pot, especially with the OGs. You can see that, of course, that dynamic with Brittany and Kenya. You can see it with, Angela antagonizing Porsha. You can see it with, Drew asking Brittany, did she sell the cat? You can just see, like, that's why I kind of feel like it's like the OGs versus the new girls, the newbies. And I feel like a lot of that is off camera, fourth wall. The producers are producing. And listen, reality TV producers are messy. That's part of their job. But they want to ensure that, Atlanta's numbers are up, their ratings are high, and they are pushing them to be extremely messy. Because, like I said, I don't think any other world it would be okay to invite somebody that you got beef with to somebody else's birthday party. That doesn't make sense. Like, they don't get along. Why would you, like, Portia's like, why would you invite Drew to my birthday party? Especially if it's out of town. Like, it wasn't even in Atlanta. That doesn't make sense. So you're going to make Drew come all the way out to Atlanta just to what? Get sent home? Like, what in the quad from Married to Medicine is going on? like you gonna have Drew leave her children, leave Ralph in the basement, and come out there for what? To get dogged out by Porsha? Like, that's a waste of time, gas, energy. Y'all are a mess. Shamia's like, how are you going to invite somebody to somebody else's trip? And Cynthia's like, this is the wrong road. You don't want to, you don't want Petty to piss off Petty Porsha, and you don't, because Porsha is violent. I mean, am I the only one that has watched Porsha drag everybody? Cynthia, Kenya, I forget whoever was at that restaurant. She was trying to fight at her spinoff show. Somebody else in the alley she was dragging. Porsha can fight, okay? She got hands. Listen, if it was me, if I was Drew, I wouldn't have shown up. Not because I was scared of Porsha, just because I have too much, self respect to be crashing somebody's birthday party, especially out of town. But on the other hand, it's a check, because if Drew didn't show up to that party, then she wouldn't have gotten paid for this episode, or she wouldn't have gotten paid. So if it's my job, I don't know, I would have considered it. I don't think I would have shown up, but Drew did. So yeah, just being messy. Angela is messy. See, I thought that Angela, Portia said, I thought, she was cutesy. She was demure. She was like, no, Angela is not. She was like, she's bold. She's messy. And she is. That's messy. Oh, so Brit talks about the hugs with Angela. This girl is crying out for affection. I'm sorry. She's like, the hug, you didn't give me a hug. She's like, no, I did give you a hug. And you know who's not giving her a hug? Her husband. Her husband gave her that church hug standing up. That's who you need to project all that onto, Brittany, Edie. Not Angela, not Kenya, not all these women not giving you hugs. Your mom, somebody, I don't know, your sisters. I know you said you weren't close with them either. Those are the hugs that you're looking for. All this projection, it has nothing to do with Angela. Your anger really didn't have anything to do with Kenya when you said that she didn't hug you. Those hugs, that void you're looking for, that's from your family. Okay? Your family. Mother, husband, sisters. I'm telling you, if you were to get the hugs that you needed from them, all this animosity that you have toward your castmates on this show, the other housewives, it wouldn't even be an issue, I promise you. All right, take off my therapy hat now. So Angela calls her husband, and he is pretending like he can't hear you, like he cannot hear her. Like, what? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That's another one. I don't think that Charles is really checking for Angela like that. He's already stepped out on his marriage and created a whole baby on her. Like, I feel like once these men, just decide that they don't like their wives, or they don't, for whatever reason, then it's just like a downhill spiral from there. Like, there's nothing you can do or say. Well, you know what? I feel like that's with anybody, right? Like, once people decide that they don't like you, they just, anything you do, just look at that person over there breathing like that. Like, they just, you can't, once it's a wrap, it's a wrap. Just move forward. But him pretending like he couldn't hear her on that phone told me everything I needed to know, child. So anyway, because Shamia could hear, Gerald just fine. Everybody else talked to their man, and it worked out just fine. Atlanta and Nashville, like I said, it's only an hour plane ride away. He was not, Verizon. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? He did not want to talk to her at all. So Kelly tells her stylist that she wants to wear a dress to the bull riding. He's like, "Have you ever ridden a bull before? Because a dress, Kelly, stop it." Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's out there trying to find a husband. Who knows? But they're getting glammed up for the bull riding, which, again, I'm thinking, I know it's a television show, but they're talking about, you don't want your nip to slip and all this other stuff. It's like, if you know that you're going to be, bucking and going through the air and, trying to hold on to a mechanical bull, wouldn't you want to wear a full t-shirt and to be covered? Well, I don't know. I would, but these ladies do not. So that's why I'm not a Real Housewife. But they call Porsha Beyonce, and they're talking about Angela's doing her affirmations. what makes me like just cringe is when these women go through all of this for these men who just be paying them like lightweight dust. Like I feel like Angela wouldn't have to do all these affirmations if she got a fraction of that love and affection from her husband. Same with Brit Edie. Brit would not be begging for hugs from all these other women if she got what she needed at home. It's cringy. All right, so they are really cute. The bull riding is, the whole birthday trip is Cowboy Carter themed. Shout out to Beyonce. But they go to the restaurant and, they have a really good time. So when they get there, Porsha's friends that she's invited are already there. She invited her sister Lauren, Moneta from earlier seasons, and some other friends. So she's excited because it's going to be really special. Amari, Pravi are her friends, Chanel, and they're dancing and, they're just getting into the party spirit, which is great. They're wishing her a happy birthday. They're doing bar crawls and everybody's going there to have fun. They're doing rooftop, or they have rooftop dancing. They're not doing that, but they jump on the bull. So Porsha's first is the birthday girl, and she only lasts 7 seconds on the bull, which I've never done mechanical bull riding before, but it doesn't look easy. So shout out to Porsha with her 7 seconds. So next up we have Shamia, and she's 5 seconds. Wait, no, that wasn't Shamia. That was Kelly. I think that was 5 seconds. No, that was one of her friends. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was one of her friends. So then we have Kelly. And Kelly, she's barefoot and she hangs on a little bit longer. She's sliding off a little bit, but she's not letting go. So her time on the bull was 49 seconds, which again, like I said, it doesn't look easy. So shout out to Kelly for holding it down for almost a minute. She got this. So Shamia gets on there with a prayer cloth. She smacks the bull and she's like, come on, prayer cloth. So Shamia looks like she's done this. She's done this time or two. Okay, she is getting her life. And Shamia, I think she held the record. She did 51 seconds, which was impressive. So, and she liked it, she said she had a good time. So they go upstairs for drinks and shots and food and everything. And they cut to Drew, because they asked, because everyone's like, well, where's Drew? They cut to Drew, and she is at Dennis's hookah bar, or hookah lounge, I'm sorry. And I was like, I thought he sold hot dogs, but I guess he took the money from the hot dog stand and now opened up a hookah lounge, which I'm not mad at it. Listen, have multiple businesses, get multiple bags, have multiple streams of income. He turned those hot dogs into hookah. Get it? So anyway, I think Drew is, she is going out of her way to spend a lot of time with Dennis to antagonize Porsha. I really, really do. I don't think that their relationship is that deep. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it is. I think that she's doing that more so to be messy. So they go back to the ladies at the restaurant in Nashville. And so Porsha's like, listen, my birthday is all about me. Okay, we're going to focus on me. Now, she said earlier that her therapist told her that. But to be honest, I feel like Porsha's always been, a bit self-centered, but especially more so in later seasons. But anyway, she said, she was like, I was gracious enough to give Drew the 2 beds. She gave that girl bunk beds. I'm like, Lord. And she's upset that people are asking about Drew. She's really probably going to be really upset when she finds out where she was, before she got to Nashville at her baby daddy's hookah lounge. She's really going to be mad then. But anywho, Angela, being messy, says that Porsha should have told me on FaceTime that she didn't want Drew to come. And I'm thinking, Angela, you should know that. She shouldn't have to tell you that. Angela said, listen, I have, size 12 stompers. And, I'm standing 10 toes down in my size 12s, okay? She's about her business. So they're saying that, Drew, she's sneaky. She does things undercover. And, Porsha's like, that's why we stopped working together. Baby girl, the reason why you stopped working together is because you were jealous that she was making music with Dennis. Stop your cap. But anyway, so in walks the waiter as soon as they start talking about Drew possibly, um, being, uh, servicing his hot dog. Dennis's hot dog. And that's what Porsha said. She said that that's Dennis's favorite thing, to have his little hot dog sucked on. Um, these ladies are a mess, man. I'm telling you, it's a mess and a half. So the next day, Porsha gets there. She walks in the house. She's like, "What's up, bees?" And they're at another restaurant. And Drew walks in. That's what I meant to say. Y'all know I've been making videos all day, so my voice is starting to go. But anyway, so yeah, so when Drew gets to the restaurant with the ladies toward the end of the evening, she walks out. She's like, "Listen, I don't have to sit here and take this. This is immature." And I'm thinking, you should know that Portia's immature. Like, she went off on you about working with Dennis. She called you low down, scoundrel, dirty, whatever. Then she tried to cut the partnership with Go Naked Hair. She didn't want you to be an ambassador. Now, she's dogging you out at her birthday dinner. Like, Drew, just cut your losses. Like, Drew will hang on to a toxic relationship. Like, Drew, you don't see the pattern? Man, like, the relationship you have with Ralph is toxic. Let it go. You know? Like, I would have moved out. I'd have been like, okay, you can have a house. I'm gonna take the kids and go to a condo or an apartment or whatever, because peace of mind is too important to me. Um, Portia, you don't like me working with Dennis. You'll be all right, but we don't have to be friends. It's cool. We can be, we can work together. You're not gonna talk to me like you crazy, but you definitely not about to call me a low down, whatever she said in earlier season or earlier episodes, low down sewer rat or whatever she said. I'm not gonna work for Go Naked Hair. I'm not gonna try to help you build your business and your brand. No. And I'm definitely not about to go out to the birthday dinner. Like, Drew, baby girl, I need you to learn some boundaries. I need you to choose Drew, okay, and your kids and your self-respect and your dignity up off the floor, out the basement, okay, and stop letting these people walk all over you. Like, that's what I need for Drew to do. And Angela, I need you to stop being messy, inviting Drew places that you know that she would not be respected or appreciated. Like, I need for everybody to learn boundaries on this show, because y'all are just messy. But anyway, it's the Housewives, so it's at least entertaining. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.